Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another mod stream. We are back as planned, getting work done, and yeah, having a good time over here. So, off stream, I added a new Terran unit both to the dock and to the game, although its behavior is not fully implemented. It's the Cyclops, which is a walker meant to handle crowd control. And it is trained at a factory with a salvo yard. As you can see, I don't have a, well, apparently I don't have the right unit stat cost. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. That's supposed to be 125, I think, or 150. Yeah. So somehow that's fucked up. But yeah, you train it at the... What the fuck? Excuse me? Oh, it looks like it trained it correctly as well, but maybe the string is fucked up. But here we go. It's a tiny little thing, unfortunately. I'm only realizing that now. So I'll probably find some better graphic for it at some point. But this tiny little thing is what we got. So I think I'll probably drop the cost and health of the unit. It's important to, I think, keep survivability relative to the source graphic and like what it actually looks like. Like, for my money, the Goliath looks like it would definitely have more survivability than this thing, considering how small it is, right? So we want to keep that in mind. But yeah, its stats will probably drop, generally speaking. And maybe it'll even be a tier 1 unit instead of requiring an attached salvo yard. I actually wouldn't mind that, in theory. Makes sense to me. But yeah. So that's the first new addition that I should showcase today. Otherwise, we got we do have some GPTP work that iQuare has done to implement the Penumbra's crushing passive and the Phobos's overcharge passive, so that's looking pretty good. And I guess that means that I need to pop into these button sets and start adding button sets for the various units. So we'll say Penumbra. I don't know what the icon will be exactly, but we'll move into button sets. And down here we just need to find all those things. So here we have something for Terran Phobos. What's up, Vik? Well, things are going pretty well. How about yourself? I only just started, so... thought I had the stat.txt open, but I guess not. Hello, darkened mantises. So now that I've actually written descriptions for this stuff, we'll say penumbra is 1101. And I don't really know. The thing is, I don't really know what the closest icon to looking like something is being crushed would be. That's definitely custom icon territory, I think. I guess right now we'll just use that as in my mind, it's just like a Zergling being crushed by the leg. Well, yeah. So the passive is for a giant mech that crushes units. So I'll build this plugin and then add the latest build of it, and I'll show the behavior off. Meanwhile, I guess I can start writing the code that needs to be changed over. Yeah, it's not really the right one, I don't think. Yeah, there you go. Just feet, dude. Why not? I think I'm almost done unfucking this. Okay. Presumably this is done building now. And he wanted it in update unit state. Okay. I forget what special abilities flags are. Oh, actually, this should be its own function or something, rather than something inside here. I guess I'll have to open up IDA. Just doing a little bit of programming here today, boys. More like programming, am I right? Alright. Now, the only problem is I don't actually know what return type this is. So I guess I'll mark it as void for now, and I'll figure that out later. Okay. I forget what the shit here is. So that's like advanced flags or something. I mean, it's advanced flags in PyDAP, but I don't actually remember what it's called elsewhere. Because lard. Oh shit. We don't really need that anymore because I already inlined it. Special ability flags, by the way. Is it? I don't think it would be group flags. But that's the only thing in here. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, probably base property. Oh, it's like unit property or something. Yeah. Getting my legs back here. I don't remember what I had to do here. Maybe it's like A1 ID or something. Yeah, that's why. Whoa. I forgot how more convoluted it felt over here. Oh, that's fine then. Oh, actually, I should be able to cross-reference this with the IDA now that I have it open. So guard is order ID 2. Yeah. And I don't remember what -151 is. Of course, these are not listed in decimal. They're listed in hexadecimal. Because why would you make it cross-compatible at a moment's notice? So we're looking for value 97, which is called reset collision 2. So that's definitely not right. What was the value I was looking for? Might be the one right next to it. No, that's patrol. Maybe it is fucked up. Hold on. AI actions. If I go to a building, it'll tell me. 156 is actually what I'm looking for. That's 9C. Computer AI. Oh, okay. And then I think those are the only enum things there. So now I just have to define tech use allowed. I guess it's... Does it default to unsigned or does it default to signed? I never remember. I would assume it's defaulting to signed because I'm seeing express declarations of unsigned. So what do we got wrong here? So we have an A1, and I assume this is an S. I don't know if that's a S16. But this being an S32 doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Int A3, word A2, C unit A1. All right, well. Iquare's investigating the issues with the bullet stuff that I was talking to DF about last night. The weapon flingy not being initialized. Turns out it is something wrong with the extender, some missed case in the flingy stuff, presumably. Why is it giving me an error here? Expression must have arithmetic, unscoped enum, or pointer type. I don't see how that's possible, though. Maybe this needs to be cast to S16? Doesn't look like it. What's going on, Chris? How you been? All right, I'm going to go ahead and close this out for now. So let's jump in and test this penumbra stuff. Still think the selection circle is like, it almost fits at certain angles, but it probably needs to be like one size up. Anyway. Destroyed. It doesn't quite path into them is the problem, but that's pretty good. Oh, I don't have the latest files. But meanwhile, obviously, units can walk around it all that they want. It's kind of cool that they can even walk through it right now. That's due to a very small radius. I would actually be fine giving this unit no collision at all in terms of like size, so that it could just step over shit. But it's just that like anything related to pathfinding, we need a ton of stuff. So like I would actually like for there to be like hard points on the unit where its legs can't be walked through, but you can walk through everything else. I think that would be really cool. Because I can just imagine like, you know, you got your backup over here, and you know I kind of like this idea of like Marines just, you know, taking cover underneath it or whatever. But obviously they just get destroyed as soon as I walk around with them. So that's one of those things where I'm not sure if it should affect friendlies. I feel like it's kind of weird if it doesn't. But yeah, there's still some tweaking that needed to happen with that for sure. Well, it only works on small units right now. So if I were to go for a more consistent thing, it would be like, so obviously that means every mechanical unit doesn't take damage by it, and even there's at least that one upgraded Marine that's medium, the Madcap. So and the Shaman is medium too. So in theory, you could have some limited bio supporting this thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how to balance that out. Definitely, I like the idea of it crushing units, but we need like, I feel like that might be something that we just need to provide in a different engine where we have more control over pathfinding, so that we can tell the unit to just try to step over units, sort of like the Colossus does in Starcraft 2. But we'll see how it goes. It is the ultimate expression of Terran power, at least on the ground. So that's sort of the idea. I'll minimize that for now. I'll just flat out close it for now. Almost crashed my computer for now. No big deal. Build Cyclops. Oh, I didn't put a hotkey here. That's why there was a problem. Okay. So here's another thing is that, yeah, like I was, oops, that's not what I wanted to launch. Idiot. So like I was saying earlier, the graphical representation of units is really important. And in this particular case, I actually thought that this AA artillery graphic that I had access to was going to be bigger. Turns out it is not. It is actually small. It's smaller than the Goliath. It's probably about the size of the battle mobile graphic I'm using for the Madcap. Or no, that's not the right one. Repair mobile. I know it's supposed to be repair mobile, but I like mobile. So it's probably the size of this. So it's actually much smaller than initially expected. I was thinking it was going to be the same size as the Paladin graphic, but I was very much surprised. So I do have to correct its offset though. Oops. Had to think about that name for a moment. And 26, 33, so we need 7. Yeah. The Madcap went through 3 different graphics, so I think I sent you in man icons, Jason Jace out. I sent you the updated one, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Yeah, repair mobile. Repair mobile. So yeah. Well, I guess we'll have a nice like spread of walkers now. We got like in terms of scale, right? We're looking at Cyclops into Goliath into Paladin into Penumbra. Maybe there will be another one in between Paladin and Penumbra that'll be less massive, but I don't know. Could be cool. I'm still deciding if I want Akhmech to be a mechanical unit. Like it'll definitely be mechanical, but I'm deciding if I want it to be a barracks or factory unit. Still not sure about that one. I was also thinking about assignments. There, a part of me wants to move the Madrigal over to the machine shop so that all tanks are together, and then we'd have Goliath and Paladin on the same add-on. But I feel like the Goliath is so useful, generally speaking. Like it's so versatile that it feels weird to remove it from the machine shop. Because to me, the dichotomy you have at the factory is like machine shop gives you most of like the standard fare responses, but the salvo yard gives you more specialized responses to certain threats. Some of these graphics should never have even been considered to be ported. What, in the ones that I sent you with in man icons? I think most of them are okay. Trying to think of what wouldn't be used. Oh no, I didn't even send you the one that I thought you might be referring to. I guess this guy's kind of stupid, but we don't really have a Grenadier graphic. This guy will clearly be a Protoss robot. I mean, just look at him, dude. He's like a Protoss dog. And he just punches you. Like, come on, we need that graphic. But the ones that I sent you before, both of the previous versions of the Madcap, both of them were pretty bad. I agree. That's because they were taken from Command and Conquer 2, and all of the infantry is terrible in that game. Like really, really tiny. Unfortunately, we can only use what we have, and what we have is not great. What's up, Bikeware? Are we still at a... Oh, no, that's probably correct. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, it's probably because of the firing frames. I'm not sure if that's properly set up or not. All right. So let's finish that. Well, until we figure out what's going on with the flingy extender thing, I haven't, I'm not able to test it, obviously. Without doing some destructive edits to the game state. I think 1 is probably too small for that graphic, but we'll see. I guess that's fine. What I will do is I'll test it after this anyway, just to see, because I was trying to do that yesterday, but at some point I was too tired. Pretty fast moving guy, dude. A pretty spry fella. I already showed Penumbra's. Phobos is not really set up, I don't think. I think both of its weapons are still fucked, but... But as you can see, it's gaining energy per attack. Yeah, I haven't set up its weapons yet. So this will be a much more impactful change later when it has its actual weapons, because it'll launch 2 attacks against, or I think it was, I don't actually remember, hold on. Has 4 attacks against ground. Oh no, they both attack. So I forgot about this. So this is like one of its own behaviors as well. That I forget how I set this up in the Centaur's attack. I think I did it through GPTP. Basically, if the unit is if the target is within 6 range, it will fire both of its projectiles, but otherwise it'll fire its main gun. So its main gun is a laser, and its secondary projectile or secondary attack is a missile. So normally it'll be launching 4 attacks at once. But if it's within 6 range, it's launching 10 attacks at once. That's 50 energy per attack. Pod stream? I don't even know what that is. Like a podcast stream? What does that have to do with liberals? What a confusing man. It's really funny how the term liberal has just lost all meaning now, though. It used to used to mean like left-leaning centrist or something, and now it's just autism. I don't know about that one. It seems like a goofball. What are we doing here? So how do I actually search through this HYDRA? I've got all of the cases. It's 331. Unfortunately, not 333. There's a fly spazzing out somewhere. Yeah, I told you that. The fuck? Oh, that's pretty epic. There we go. AI tracker, by the way. Never saw that one before. Oh, this is stupid. Surely there's a tool to automate this. Time and date, by the way. Apparently we've jumped into, like, memory management commands. Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks reasonable. Doesn't look like this has anything to do with it either. Yeah, this is all a bunch of calculations and variables and function calls, but no data types, parameters. It's all just ints and unsigned ints and so on. I'm going to go ahead and say that that has nothing to do with it. Somehow we have a missing bit of code. Missing instructions. Yeah, it won't actually tell me what this is, so we'll leave that because I don't know. Anything with search results, I'll leave for now, but probably not related. Here we go. We got a flingy. Finally. The fuck is this? This is map width and stuff. Looks like more search results, but I don't see any flingies. Leave that to one side. Graphic, flags, mouse pointer. I don't know about this one. Like maybe, but I don't see any flingy anything. I see flags. Yeah, that goes in the maybe pile. This is dialogue, nothing to do with flingies. More dialogues. More dialogues. Yeah, I think we can safely delete all that. I guess it's possible that Hexrace is misinterpreting this. And A2 is a unit ID, and it's getting something related to that, but I don't know. I'm not seeing much of a reason to worry about that right now. Search inner, more search stuff. What do you mean what's going to happen after full toilet? Yeah, most of the stuff isn't relevant. If there was a way to isolate it so that it would only pick up stuff from a unit ID, like something like that, that would be pretty useful. Oh, this is like AI or something? Yeah, it's not related. Yeah, none of this stuff is related. Well, we're going into game development soon, so it's going to get more fun from here. Insane AI nonsense, it looks like. Something outside of a function again. Oh, do we have? No, never mind. It's more AI shit. Ay, ay, ay. Are you serious? Which one, dude? Well, I'm glad that works. Oh, maybe it is related? I don't know. I don't think so. No, this has nothing to do with it, look. It's a double pointer into V4 plus 36, and then it's checking the status flags of it. You wouldn't be checking a flingy for status flags. So I don't think it has anything to do with it. Yes, but it doesn't do anything related to flingies with it. It actually it makes it look like it's just a unit pointer. Because it's casting it as a double unit pointer. It has nothing to do with flingy. It's also like C unit. V5 itself is the type of C unit. It's a unit pointer. Which is why you are interacting with it in that way. So this is not related, I don't think. I mean, V4 is like related to AI Captain. So yeah, it's not even related, Iquare. It's adding 36 or 0 times 24 to V4, and V4 is an AI Captain. That's what it says right here, plain as day. It's taking the AI Captain, casting it to int, adding 36 to it, casting that to C in a double pointer. Yeah. That has nothing to do with flinging. I mean, I agree it's stupid. Hex-rays was really, really stupid in that particular function, but it has nothing to do with flinging, and it was pretty obvious. Unless I really don't understand what's happening in some of this code, anyway. Ay, 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 Hex-rays. What a piece of shit. It's UI. It's more UI stuff. More shit I can't access. It's related to UI stuff again. Skip. Yeah, that's UI. More UI, yeah. Lots and lots of user interface. So far I found 3 that are related. I don't remember where I just was, unfortunately. It's pretty frustrating. So I'll just jump over here. Progress bar update. UI. More like you buy. At least now I can do this a lot faster. In dialogue, graphic. Still no flingy in sight. Oh, I think that's where I just was. I don't know. Order stat highlight, by the way. Yeah, this is all a bunch of UI stuff. Very little to do with whatever it is I'm looking for. No, it's more UI. Player structs. Yeah, run AI script, by the way. AI attack manager. We should probably hook get old peons to fix some of those issues. It is pretty stupid. Okay, that's portrait. Unrelated. Next. Yeah. Control. Okay, that's also control. I'd say we're at least halfway done. What was this? Okay, not related. Oh. Okay, unrelated. I can't believe how much unrelated junk I've had to sift through. Like I said, there's got to be some tool that will actually work with this. Alright, this is related. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Maybe. Wait, what? No. What am I looking at? V49. Sprites 1 overlay. No, it doesn't look like it's related. Best bean geyser, by the way. Nice typo. Good stuff. Always epic. Back to completely unrelated shit, of course. As you do. No, that's dialogue and strings and shit. Nothing to do with any of this. Alright. How many more we got? Oh, 70 or 80, looks like. Wait. What is this? If V7 36, that's player structs, okay. So that is not related. And this is like player status or player struct. Shit. This might be related. Maybe we have this documented somewhere. No, it doesn't look like it. This. What do we got from V5? Player color map. Player randomization. So that has something to do with broad scope player stuff. I'm going to go ahead and say that's not related. Strings, unrelated. Dialogues as well. Add item to listing. Game node. Yeah, we'll say no. Game no. The magic of modding. If I didn't have a headache before. You know what I mean? What is this? Void, int. I'm not seeing anything telling me this is related to flingies. Get tick count means it's something system level. Yeah, it's volume or something. I don't know. Leave critical section. That's pretty impressive. I've been sending you the, I sent you the 3 that I found that are done and dusted, and I know what they are. Now there's actually now 3 more. So I just sent you 6 total so far. Oh, except I just lost all the progress that I made. I've got to go rewind the stream. And set it to actual HD so I can see what's happening here. 4BC3 something. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it'll will be hanging around with it for too long, personally. Seeing GRP stuff, but no flingy stuff yet. This might be related here. It's A1 plus 36. Compile health bar. I'm not sure if that's related to flingies or not, but... Is it this one? Just to be safe, I'll add that to the list. Might just be GRP shit again. Well, the end is in sight, and I found a grand total of 6, maybe 7. Pretty epic. If you want to take a look at your DMs, iQuare, and let me know if any of those seem related. Not actually sure if these are related, but again, it's hard to tell with a lot of these examples. Generic checkbox update, by the way. Casting it as a byte pointer doesn't really seem reasonable, but that does seem like it's probably flingy. That checkbox stuff might have been unrelated entirely. Might have been something like well, I've got no way to identify this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and assume it's not related. It might have been related to UI stuff. No, no idea. Okay. Oops. Okay, I shall return momentarily. I just gotta use the bathroom, get some more water, that sort of stuff. So, I'll catch you guys in a minute or two, and when I return, I'll be going back to messing around with some HYDRA stuff, testing out DF's updated missile and doing some other work. I'm back. You know, I was thinking about the whole full toilet contest thing. I don't know if we'll even get people to hang out, to be honest. To actually create content. I think it'll be me, and by extension, Veek. While also having like Icor will finish his stuff. I don't know if anybody else will actually finish any content. I mean, I know we still got more than a month left, so there's time aplenty. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to test out that new graphic from DF, but I could not do that appropriately because of this issue with flingies. So I say it's time to... Well, the problem is... Oh, it's going to be so annoying to actually do it. Okay. I think we can just replace something like the antimatter missile and go into its iScript as well. I guess I could do burst lasers, but then it would be too fast. I don't think there is a missile that's not really fast. That's like the speed of a normal missile. That's also O-fire. So yeah, I guess I'll have to copy salamander missile. So I'm gonna have to copy this shit and antimatter missile. Okay. So here we have our thing. And so we'll set the... I'll turn the salamander's data rewrite off. And then... Man, what a mess. Just to test this shit out. So then antimatter missile has to be set to 9.1 rewrite. And then after all that, we need to go into HYDRA, Terran, salamander missile, and copy it into unit, bullet, HKS. And then we have to close whatever's holding the... There's nothing holding onto it. And then... Now that I've reset everything, Oh, I do actually have to go into weapons and set the graphic to antimatter missile. And that I can actually add without any issues because the data rewrite overrides it anyway. I think it even matches with the Gemini missiles hit as well. It looks fine to me. I think it works out. Looks like I didn't save my images. Oh, I know why that's happening. It's because I didn't delete the unit bullet. Okay. So I think we've taken care of business as far as that goes. We've done our due diligence. Unfortunately, we can't actually use the graphic just yet, but that unit is far from being finished, so no big deal there. Now, looking at the Cyclops, again, it feels like quite a tier 2 unit, let's be real. It's just that it definitely packs way more of a punch and has way more survivability than it ought to. So, let's change it up. We'll call the Cyclops... yeah, it's still rather straightforward as far as its combat roll goes, but we are going to hop into its data, its units and weapons stats, and we will jump to the unit, and we'll say its cost is... I think the 30-second cost is probably still reasonable, but I think we'll drop its health to 100. 1 armor is probably fine. 2 supply is probably fine. 2 space is probably fine. I think its damage will go down to 10. Plus 1 is fine. I might decide to change it to explosive, but that's not really that big of a deal. The big deal is that it's obviously not like... It doesn't have AoE on its main attack, but the behavior is that whenever a unit dies to a Cyclops, it explodes and deals damage in a radius. So that damage may be modified because obviously now we've modified its stats itself. We'll say 100. No longer requires salvo yard, 1 armor, large size, 9 sight range. I think we did 175. Use apply 30 seconds. Although 75 gas, I mean, you're only spending it 50 for a Goliath, so it doesn't really make any sense to me. But then 10 plus 1, 6 range, 1.5 second cooldown. Okay. Now we just need to go into Firegraft and change its stat requirements and some button set stuff. I've already removed the button set specific rules in the factory, but that does mean obviously we're going to have to move some other stuff around. So set this to 3. Siege tank shall now be 4. 4. Goliath should be 5. Okay. I think that's everything. Oh, I still needed to change the DAT requirements though. Now, notably, this does allow the Cyclops to be used much more flexibly, which is probably fine. Because now we just drop any old factory can go ahead and drop a Cyclops. Let's see. Yeah. So that's fine. Seems reasonable to me. It's kind of hard to get a sense of scale here, but I really don't think there are that many missiles. Kind of unfortunate. There's so at the end of the day, there's so few of these projectiles. Really hard to figure out like what would I end up using for some of these. I'm assuming the purple one would be not usable in Starcraft's palette due to purple being purple. Stupid. I sure hope weapons can actually end up using those 4 bytes of flingy entries we created, because otherwise it's not gonna be epic at all. So let's recenter here. Right now, the Terrans have a partially functional extra unit, the Cyclops. I guess I should finally fix the mutation pits wireframe now that I think about it. I don't suppose Icor took a look at the AI burrower hook. Doesn't look like it. Didn't I just... Oh, it's right next to me this whole time. Goofball! Reasonable. So, if I jump into I don't know, man. That one doesn't look too bad, I guess. Oh, it was the rocket graphic. Weird that Impact of Power has reasonable looking ones. Oh yeah, I remember using the double laser for Helix Watchers, and this for something as well. 3. Every single time I skip a song on YouTube, it just destroys me. Why? Why? Unreasonable behavior. I wonder if I can maybe look for some effects for some of the hit scan weapons that I've added. Stucked, by the way. It's too bad I can't go down the rabbit hole of adding a million sound effects yet. We don't have the sound effects extender yet, but we will eventually. I don't actually know if there's a graphic that, or a... I'm not sure if there's a unit that would benefit from using this larger missile. I guess the Phobos could be it. But it's launching 6 of them, so... Not sure about that one. We'll see what happens with it anyway. I won't actually be able to see this in here anyway because it's extended rewrite, but you know. Two, 7, 8. Oh, that's right. I never picked out weapon entries for this one, I don't think. Or if I did, I documented them and didn't actually put them in here. So we'll check weapon ID for that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a no, because I don't see Phobos in this list. Oh, but time to go hunting again then. Looks like 94 and 95 are open. Just gonna throw some generic names in there for now. Come up with better ones later. We're looking at a max hit of 4 and 6 respectively, I believe. Should be 4, 10. Ground air units, we're looking at 1.5 second cooldown. And then here we've got 92 is 6 range already. Oh, factor of 4, factor of 6. So Acheron agent. More like fucking idiot. If you know that reference, you know. And this here we have a 2-second cooldown and a 32, 48, 64 radius. And it's explosive with a splash radial. Okay. Anyhow, that's 95 is the ID we're looking for there. This goes 278, 278 goes to 583, 583 goes to 1156, 1156 does not have a GRP ID associated with it. Well, we can fix that if we find my other pi table. Okay. Well, that's not what I expected. If we find my file that I can edit, jump down here and we'll call this HYDRA Terran Phobos Missile.grp, and that's 1088. Okay. Ah, classic. So for Phobos ground attack init, we are looking at needing to go into game hooks. Centaur. Call this Phobos. Now, I'm not sure if this will work exactly. It's been a while since I've used like attack with 1 and 2 to try to make that stuff happen, but in theory it should work. So here we go with that. I do want to jump in here and set its icon correctly though, if at all possible. Something tells me this ain't working out correctly. Oh, probably this. So somehow we're getting fucked up inside the code here where it'll attack with 1, and then it'll wait forever? I'm thinking maybe there needs to be like a wait 1 or something after it, but I feel like I had something similar happen to... I'm pretty sure I found something like that with the Centaur in the past. I see it's trying to use its secondary weapon to target air units. So that's kind of its own issue. Why would it be... I'm really confused by why it would jump away at that. It's almost like it doesn't get removed somehow with the order signal, but that doesn't make any sense to me. What's up, Beaver? Yeah, it's we haven't ported the engine graphics yet, but it's from another game called 5 Nations that has been in development hell for a while, but has a lot of graphics. So I took a lot of the graphics from that game and put them into Starcraft. Yeah, I'm not sure why there's no... why that particular thing isn't functioning yet, but... The only difference between this setup and the previous one is that, like, basically the previous one has... this ship here launches missiles if it's within a certain range, right? Whereas otherwise it'll just fire its main cannon. You'll notice that this one doesn't actually have the missile, like the secondary weapon, even showing up there. And so what I'm thinking is maybe that's what I have to do. I have to make both weapons point to the same other one. And then just have the missile pack. I guess I'll have to have another passive icon over there, though. Or I'll be... maybe I could force the weapon to show anyway, though. Not sure. Notably for this unit, I had to actually make 2 separate engine graphics. Well, technically it's the same one, but I had to position them And so we have to actually have two different ones running here. So I don't know how I feel about that ultimately, but at least you know when it's moving, whereas this one, obviously, I'm just using the battlecruiser ones, but... So wait. Now I wonder what'll happen if it just reaches that naturally. Will it start immediately decreasing? No, but only once it attacks it will? So really I should only go from 20 to 40. Okay, yeah, that's about right what happens. Alright. It's gonna be real wacky to see AI build fleets of those things in the late game. So yeah, the fact that so the SIG order gets cleared and then so then what it should do is it should only run... Oh, wait, I know what's happening. It's so stupid. It's so obvious. I didn't key in the animation. Like, I didn't define the animation. That's a real stupid moment. Well, obviously it's instead of attack with 2, I should replace all of this with fire weapon. It's 95, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And then it should launch the missiles. I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. Let's see. Whoa. Hold on. It's actually working? Now, obviously I need to add launch spin and stuff, but what the fuck? So the Phobos missile works, but the other one that I set up for Salamander doesn't work? Huh? Alright, now I'm just going to have to redo the Salamander missile then, because that's really confusing. So I'll re-import the Salamander missile to 279, and then set it to 279 in here, but otherwise keep it identical. That will be so confusing if just for whatever reason that one entry didn't work. No, it still doesn't work. But why? What the fuck? I'm so confused. Um... That's really confusing. I also, well, I did notice that maybe something else is not right, though, because I didn't notice anything in the Phobos missile having the... The missile trail? Maybe, hold on. I got a long bolt, excuse me. No, never mind. I don't know. Maybe it is working and I just didn't notice. But I should throw in some launch spin for the sake of variety. And probably, if not some sort of X offset, then I should probably put in something like... Oh, there already is an X offset. Well, I guess we should do 40. And yeah, this should be 16. Bonk and 16. All right, let's try that. Let's give it another shot. All right, that looks a little bit more reasonable. Now, obviously, sort of similar to how the Paladin has that, like, it specifically spawns from that upper missile thing. We're going to have something like that, except it's going to be even, well, it's going to be a little bit more involved for the Phobos. I'm thinking, like, it'll probably end up firing out from the hangars or something like that. I mean, presumably that's actually, the hangars here are supposed to be for other spacecraft, I imagine. This just looks like a Star Destroyer to me, so I'm assuming that's what that is. But we'll probably have it come out of, like, various hard points in the actual system itself. So we'll probably have something like one of these. I don't know. I'll figure out something with an overlay and send it to Icor so you can implement it. But for now, it seems like it's working. Yeah, so it doesn't look like there's actually an increase in attack speed when it hits that maximum. I'm not sure why. Well, there is, I guess, but the secondary missiles don't seem to spawn any faster. Oh, maybe they do. Maybe it's like it's a little bit noticeable. Either way, it's a fucking DPS machine for sure. I think what I might do is increase the damage of each individual projectile, but decrease the cooldown pretty heavily. So we might do something like 3 seconds or 2.5 seconds, but have it be 15 damage each shot, which obviously is multiplied by 4, so keep that in mind. So that's 60 damage on its main gun every 2.5 seconds. And then we can have 10 damage per shot, so 60 extra damage. Yeah, just double its DPS, but obviously this is explosive and splash, so it's a little bit different. This is a very dangerous unit to have around, just by virtue of the fact that it can destroy your own units. So if you're not careful with how you position. Yeah, that's more like it in terms of damage. Oh yeah, baby. I do like watching how fast its energy climbs too. That's pretty ridiculous. Though I am getting the sense that maybe the X offset should be like higher. So I'll try an X offset of 50 for both of those. And maybe a slightly less pronounced launch spin, and we'll just keep tweaking. Yeah. Yeah, it looks a little bit more reasonable now, but that's just placeholder shit anyway. Obviously, that'll be ignored when I end up making the when the overlay stuff ends up happening. So I guess I can get rid of that stuff now anyway. Phobos, attack, laser, and Phobos, attack, missile. Now that's pretty neat, I think. The idea that we would have the 4 lasers come out in a line. That's pretty cool, I think. Of course, this graphic having so many directions is coming back to bite me. But it's all worth it, man, I'm telling you. Particularly when we get the custom laser graphic in from DF, who's converting it from the 5 Nations assets. That's going to be really cool, I think. Because then we'll have like a completely custom unit in terms of the missiles, the projectiles that it shoots. The engine will get in at some point, and then we'll be good. We'll be done with one of the biggest units ever added to the game, which is epic. Even after those engines are ported, though, I may have to realign them. I'm not sure how well they were assembled in the first place. Okay. I guess the one other thing that we could, in theory, use is some sort of version of the battlecruiser attack overlay where it visually has that, like, what's it called? There's like a visual sort of laser discharge, energy discharge on the front of the graphic whenever it attacks. It's a nice indication that it's attacking. I do think that that would be one other piece of visual data we could add to it. Okay. So we can save that. And then we can open up the attack missile. This one's going to be slightly more involved, of course, because it always is. For the most part, I should be able to handle all this. Honestly, it doesn't take that long. Especially when you've got like clear markings to go off of. And if there's any issues that you find after you test it, you should be able to, you know, just slow the game speed down, figure out which frame it is. Can be a little grueling, I guess, but what isn't with modding? Come on now. Almost halfway there to this one being done. It's of course very epic. I only really have to be super particular when it's like one of the ones that's going to be symmetrical. Then it's kind of like, oh, it's not really that difficult to get it right. Okay. There we go. It's a good thing this isn't my first rodeo with this sort of thing. Otherwise, I would have no idea to even think about like where the missiles should fire. Like my default assumption was always, oh yeah, just have them launch from the front of the craft. But when you've got as much real estate as you do on some of these graphics, it makes perfect sense to imagine hard points. And I think it's actually a useful sort of thought process to start thinking about, because when we end up making our own graphics for our own RTS in the near future, well, I don't know about the graphics being near future, but the own RTS is the near future. We're going to want to like think about what we would actually use as far as real estate on the graphic, what parts of it would communicate certain visual aspects. So it only makes sense. Boom. Okay. Okay, done that. So yeah, I mean, at this point, the Phobos and the Penumbra are both implemented in their first draft versions. Oh, that's right. I was going to modify the Penumbra sprites, set up the selection circle stuff for the Penumbra. I think like 4, 6, 100, or 95 or something. Yeah. All right, we'll check those out. We'll see how those look, because I wasn't quite satisfied with all of those. That does look a little bit better. Might need to be one more. And yeah, that seems more reasonable. Again, the shadow is probably going to have to be manually reconstructed at some point, but whatever. I don't remember if I actually set up the Pegasus correctly or properly or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It actually still has SIG orders, so no wonder there would be some issues. So we'll say for ground it's supposed to be 2. So. And here we'll say work code start, work code end. Okay. Sure. Now I'm thinking whatever the flingy entry is for the, or the weapon entry is rather, whereas the Pegasus weapon 2 is Lancet missiles, that's 51, so we'll do that. Oh, actually I think this is wrong here. If I go to the Pegasus, which is, I don't remember what unit it is, 52. Right, so we're looking at 1 and 51, so 49 should actually be up here and listed as 1. Okay. Correct. Pegasus weapon 1 unit. So there's not really any plugin work that goes into this particular unit. It's actually already taken care of, assuming I've done my due diligence with the burst lasers here, flying don't follow target. This looks like it's set up correctly. It just needed to attack twice, which means I actually should set this to factor of 1 and then jump into, there's like some sort of unit stat or weapon armor tooltip, I think. This should be refactored for sure. Pegasus. I guess we should just do weapon ID. Unit get ground weapon. I guess I should just do tractor batteries. Hopefully that works. We'll give that a compile and a test. Okay. I'm not actually sure about that one. So I almost certainly did not set that one up correctly. Anyway, let's jump into this here. That's 10, factor of 1. I probably didn't save the latest, or I probably didn't apply the latest custom changes. But 51 was the other one, right? Fly and follow target. Oh, I probably didn't finish the ice script. Let's see here. Oh no, I did. Yeah, that's probably just me not importing everything correctly or something. Let's test against something with no armor. Yeah, okay. Perfect. And it still says 20? Yeah, okay. Did I not set it up as... It is splash radial? That's weird. Maybe there does need to be... Oh, I need to set target flags to air and ground, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, now it's working. Notably, you can't attack ground units with that. But, okay. I'm not sure about the damage, though. That doesn't seem... It should say 24 damage now. Instead it says 12? Oh, yeah, so this is probably fucked up. Yeah, I know why. So technically its ground weapon is the retractor batteries, but... I guess we can try that instead. Because then maybe it'll only work for the weapon ID. I don't know if this is actually something that's running for the unit or running for every individual weapon that's moused over. So the damage factor, or whatever, like the factor may not be set up correctly. Okay, now it's working. So that was just me being dumb. Okay. Epic. So we'll say, close that. We'll push this. Refactor weapon thing. Okay, I think that's about an accurate assessment of all of the work that we did recently. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at what else we got here. So obviously the Cyclops is not fully implemented. It definitely needs its behavior still to be properly set up. What else would it be related to that Phobos issue? Well, Salamander issue. I guess. Could be related to the... Maybe. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. Anyhow, in the last 3 hours, we managed to do quite a bit. Got a lot of work done on some stuff. And Terrans are just that much more properly set up, we'll say. So I'm pleased to report that we have some more progress on all those things. And soon we'll have even more like visual oomph and some stuff to set these graphics apart from one another. So that's definitely exciting. And yeah, we were able to build some pretty exciting shit here. Check out my Pegasus. Don't mind the fact that all these units are sat over here because I had to start replacing them. Matriarch might be next. You never know. But yeah. I'm pretty excited there. So still some shit to fix up, like the Pegasus's selection circle and the ranks for everything and all that shit, but we did some pretty cool stuff, so that'll be that for now. Thanks for hanging. See you guys tomorrow for another one. Mwah.